name is Maha Azzazi, and today I'm presenting on the cultural empowering and second language teaching in the U.S. in higher education. I am an ESL or ILP instructor, intensive English language instructor at the University of Findlay, Ohio, and I mainly work with international students attending the university for undergrad, grad, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Um, Sorry. Okay, first I'm going to start about my story with K-12 in the U.S. I worked as a sub teacher during the pandemic, just serving my community where my kids go to school in Shawnee, this is Lima in Ohio. And I've observed a lot of great activities, sociocultural activities that they participate and plan for the kids. And I was wondering why my kids don't want to miss a day of school because they, and I've noticed that I've experienced it all at the school where they had a lot of fun and they were engaged with all different type of activities. So when I had a problem in my international ILP classes, I was like, okay, I need my students to engage, and the retention rates were a little bit high. So I was trying anything and everything that could help my students get more engaged in the classroom and try to come to the classroom. So I started applying some of these activities. That problem especially arised when I during the pandemic and after the pandemic, where students started going back into in-person classes. So I looked into some literature and to look at the importance of exchanging cultural artifacts in teaching a second language. And I found that comparing cultural norms, artifacts, and assumptions between two cultures are really important. And that translates into applying these cultural norms and artifacts of the hosting environment where the international students are coming to through socio-cultural activities, even though it's for children, but it will benefit them navigate what's going on around them. So the cultural structure of my classroom was depending on the individual from different cultural backgrounds, where I had students from many different countries around the world. And incorporating their realities, like their part of their culture that they're bringing into the U.S. with the culture that they're experiencing at the U.S. Just to give them a sense of normalcy and have them engage with what's going on around them in the community at any time during the year, not just coming to the university, but connecting all the events that's going around them with what they're learning in the classroom. The physical structure is really important for students, especially when they're coming to class. And this is like a picture from one of the classes at K-12. And I mean, it's just full of colors and stuff like that. But I noticed that they do change the physical structure with season, with events, with holidays. So they will have a different theme throughout the classroom with each holiday and season, just to make the kids live that. I use that a lot in my, not as sophisticated as this one, but I used it with my students. Factors influencing the cultural activities that I've tried to create in the classroom. The students' cultural background, students' age, family status, students' field of study, and students' English levels. The cultural practices that I've practiced and transferred from the K-12 classrooms to my classroom as incentives or rewards. Songs can be children's songs or like pop songs, something that they will benefit from the grammatical structure and enjoy at the same time. Holiday themes, children's books and stories, games and competitions, food and parties, and hands-on activities from K-12. Starting with the rewards, I used, and I still use, like literally everything that can reward them. A high five when they answer, a sticker. They love stickers, even they're adults. Uh, all these, like the treasure box, anything like that, that keep them going. And even though it's silly, I tell them from the beginning that this is just a process and just to get you going. And to create some kind of fun and environment, a safe environment in the classroom where you can make errors and mistakes without being and also getting rewarded for good answers and stuff like that. This is a picture from an actual, this is a student of mine. We will sing kids songs and total physical activities or total physical response. You will use all that, and I will do it with them because it is awkward for adults. But I will give them the option also if they don't want to participate. But some enthusiastic students will participate with me and will encourage everybody else to stand up to whatever it is. Like everybody's going bananas, I will just go bananas with them. The holiday themes that I use, it depends on the semester, the time of the semester. Like for fall semesters, I will always use readings and themes and from fall, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Day of the Dead, it's like a Mexican, and Diwali, Moon Festival. So I will look at each cultural background that I have in the classroom, and I will incorporate these holidays just to compare it with what's going on with the United States at that time to have them connect to the host culture where they're residing. Winter, we'll do snow, Valentine's Day, winter holidays, including American International. St. Patrick's Day for spring, Easter, Cinco de Mayo for summer. Mostly like Independence Days for each country, and we'll practice and look at the themes, practices, cultural artifacts that they do in each country, comparing that with 4th of July in the United States. These are some pictures from my classrooms. As you can see, this is like Thanksgiving, Easter, that's Valentine's Day, even Eid, we participated Eid, celebrated it. and Christmas. These are some more hands-on activities, where we carved pumpkins. We've read about pumpkins. Where did it come from? Where did that, like carving the pumpkins, come from? Some historical background and stuff. So it is some challenging stuff, um, connected with some silly and fun stuff. We built a snowman one time. We've read about it, how to make it. When we had, and most of these students, they didn't see snow. Like not didn't see snow. They don't have snow in their original countries. This is for more like advanced writing, where they can put paragraphs and sentences connected together. So it doesn't matter what the level is, beginners, basics, or advanced. I use a lot of online games like quizzes, Kahoot, and they love that because the winners always get like a small prize. We do a hot potato, and I use that mostly for um, like warm-ups and if I want to do an informal quizzes. Now that most of you will ask like, okay, why do I need to do this in my classroom? That's a lot of work. They might not participate. It is a lot of work, and it took me a lot to convince my students to do it. But I will just give them the benefits of each activity right before we do it. So I'll tell them this is silly that kids here do it, but you're gonna benefit from looking at a grammar structure. We're gonna learn this. We're gonna learn that. So it will engage them and motivate them. And I'll say it's fun at the end. I want you to have fun in my classroom. It boosts their confidence. I've noticed that a lot because they make mistakes and they're not afraid to make it. They they laugh at their mistakes, actually. We all laugh at it and then try again. They start being open to share their own culture, their own feelings. How do they feel about the classroom? Give me feedback, and that helps me a lot in planning my lessons too, and knowing what exactly they understand and don't. As a scaffolding element for better comprehension, definitely. And it benefits students who are parents with kids in the U.S. They know exactly what their kids are going through in the classroom. And they have the tools to participate with them and do that at home with them, like whether reading books, singing songs, looking at different activities that they do, and they're not ignorant about it. It builds students' cultural competency with the new environment too. So it is the basics that every child here in the U.S. that get exposed to. And that will give them some cultural competency for the parents too, or for the adults who are attending and residing in the U.S. For school. Now, does that fit all? No. Um, teacher's discretion is really important. Some students, I will find some students that they don't want to participate, especially from like the Middle Eastern country. They don't want to participate in anything for Halloween. And I would just make a fall theme. But at the same time, if they're living here and if somebody knocks on their door on Halloween time, what are they gonna do? What do they like? Trick-or-treating, what is trick-or-treating? So I just let them know, I reason with them that these are some stuff that it is important to know. You don't have to participate, but by learning it in the classroom, you're knowing what's going on around you. So it is the teacher's discretion what to do, what kind of activities to do, how to incorporate these activities in basics classrooms versus advanced classroom, how to plan the lessons to make it fit what the curriculum is too. So these are some of the questions that my colleagues will ask me and challenge me with. Why do I need to use these type of methods? My students would not like that, and I've talked about that like a minute ago. Yeah, if they don't like it, I do have a lot of students who didn't want to dance. I mean, this is so silly. Why do I need to do it? I'll give them the option to just sit down and maybe just say the sentences from the song, and they don't have to sing it even. Some of them get encouraged after a while and just loosen up. Some of them, they will just keep doing what they're doing, and that I respect that. I also take votes. So if I have the majority of the class who didn't like an activity, I'll try to do something that they like. So I will always get feedback from my students, ask them at the end of the activity, did you like it or not? What did you like most about it? What is it? And then we take votes, and that helps me to plan because each class is going to be different. Students are going to be different from one class to another. I have some classes that are so energized and engaged, and some classes not like quiet, and they don't want to do certain activities. So, and that's okay. I don't feel comfortable use these practices in classroom. Again, it is the teacher's discretion because sometimes the teacher doesn't have that in them, and that's fine, as long as you try to incorporate any of the fun activities or cultural connecting activities. It doesn't have to be so silly. It depends on the teacher's personality too. Allowing discretion in the classroom by listening to the students' feedback. So that's definitely um, an important thing, because if the students don't like what they're doing, they're not going to get engaged. So their feedback is really important, and conducting surveys accordingly. These are my references, and thank you for attending, listening, and participating. Anybody have any questions?
I don't really have any direct questions, but I think this whole idea of motivating is so important. And I've taught high school for 14 years in the U.S. and Japan, and teach university. I teach graduate school, but at every level, yeah, motivation, kind of checking in with them, that's important. So thank you for your presentation. I felt it was useful. A lot of good reminders there for me.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.